yesterday.
Definitely a lot more. So, it's definitely a lot easier to watch the Liquid games at the moment. Like, they actually look great.
But
RRQ on attack, DRX on defense.
Possibly, and we're off to the start.
Previous is, I mean,
of course, already beginning all their way down to arcade with a quad stack. Bane spots them out though.
Yeah, see if they want to still steamroll in towards this side of B, because that's where the Cypher utility is.
Drones at least into the cage. Monyet taking him down through the cage. Hyunmin though, alongside the rest
it's a good sign for DRX. Aggro pushes against the Vice already. Know what they're doing, locked them in. The smoke's on up for much longer. They gotta send it. Dude, please push through. Oh my god, who was that?
Yeah, Salvo's burnt as well. Just Hyunmin able to kind of play it, but yes, he stunned himself, and that buys time for Xfero, who is sneaking through tunnel. Spots him out. That's Estrella down. And he looks for a second one as well. Just Hyunmin left. And they kind of know where he is already.
Hey, convincing. Nice little wraparound from Zafira here. This is good.
Well, just recognizing the position.
I was a little bit worried about this pushover towards spawn, but it was nice. It was a good reaction. If anything, I like DRX's initial push, but then it felt like they didn't know what to do once they took the space.
I mean, if you think about yesterday, how much Bane was, trying to play around the same sort of utility up towards tower, you'd kind of expect him. He likes to hold the right side of that cage. So if RRQ have actually done their homework in towards this one, you might see instances that look very clean for RRQ, dispatching of a couple of the DRX members when they sort of see the
send the script to Yumpy. I mean, it wasn't a Yumpy issue.
They have. You've got two coaches, Ewok as well as Warbirds, and considering the fact that the game was just yesterday, this is fresh.
It's never been a Yumpy issue.
Minds.
I mean, there was a game yesterday for one of the teams in our previous series as well, right? And they managed to pull on through. Gen G.
Yeah, they're allowed 2 deaths, and at the moment,
prepared for the series.
It might be trying to get a fair amount in terms of orbs, but as we can see, this one's taken.
Sometimes the game can be quite unpredictable, and that's why it's fun as well. But right now, just
my favorite Vandal skin. Dude, I do. The original Prime Vandal is legit, and then what's the white champs one where you don't upgrade it? That's kind of nice. The Phantom.
Completely stunned and dinged up. Got just Mako left trying to hop on over, but even the dinks not quite fully connecting to the kill at the end. It will be RRQ with a flawless round finish to a 2-0.
Yeah, we'll see what this first little buy-up is going to be.
2024 one? Yeah, I think it's 2024.
Well,
I like that one. I like that Phantom.
Being more rounds on the attack instead of the defense, so they've got to try and find a good pass mark on this defensive side.
I think G2 will still qualify for lower bracket, yeah.
The bonus round is going to be a good thing now. Generally, you would like to see.
I would like some close games, so so everyone gets nervous.
Set up your neon as well, and that's exactly what is going to happen for DRX over at this A side of things. You will expect.
Yeah, straight in with fault line as well as the Bass lane, but Hyunmin just tucked in inside. He's
what
able
about
to deal
Boom?
with Monyet real quick. Champion to
I don't feel great about Boom after watching that.
Regroup themselves.
Yeah,
knowing that they can crumble.
Try and refigure out some information. So Teo drone up towards the dish. It's going to see
that can be a hard thing to overcome.
Need to stretch too far.
So sometimes next game you're just completely fine. Sometimes you have the C9 effect, where it's just there year after year.
Being self-sufficient at the B site, camera gone. Can call for some rotations. He's got his trap wires still to safeguard himself from arcade, but he needs to have his vision
Sen's map pool. I think Sen map pool look good, like really good.
Will hold the angle.
They got their ascent and Haven great.
Cage up to buy him some time at least to try to survive.
No one's really rotated from DRX either. They weren't 100% sure if it was going to hit.
How is he alive?
He is quick on it though. And with the spams, does quite
Dude, are they going to win this round?
Unfortunate for Bane, who will not be able to last long.
They got the numbers, they get the Teo off his sights. Teo's going to have salvos, they still have the smoke, they got Molly to delay, they got breach damage in heaven to delay. Wait, this is done, no?
already has fault lines freeing. You want the salvos here if you
oh god, they're saving.
For the retake, but with 20 seconds
Did they realize it's done?
Come back online, this is just not achievable.
Dude, honestly, I'm impressed that they realize it's done here.
The fact that Cushy is somewhere on the other side as well, and his salvos will be flushing over soon enough. This just looked to be a quick save for DRX. It's a bonus round also quickly picked up by RRQ.
Real nice start from RRQ. Pistol into a bonus, and on the bonus, 4 people survive. And it's not just the 4 surviving that get the 3K. It's these getting 1,000 when they could have 2-9 as well. Like next round, if they win this, the money's really wrecked. Like really wrecked.
Up for the remaining 2 that did die. Hyunmin getting closer towards the overdrive as well. You know, if you're able to get a kill or you're able to pick up the orb and such, you might be able to use that in a round such as this. One of the differences for Fracture, of course, a lot of ulti orbs around the map, but we know for DRX they do love to do the standard protocols of gathering towards A main a lot of the time.
Match out on Monday, yeah.
Kind of condition their opponents to switch up. So they will get A main control. Wouldn't be surprised if Hyunmin actually wanted to go for the orb, but they'll go further with the
pretty much on top of this, but again, when you have this Vice, you're just super prone to this. You can't get that early info, which means you can't take the rope out of there in any of these situations, which means you're isolated on an agent that has no like real vision block for you.
Alongside Mako, they noted the drone as well.
Do you think you'll see more teams in general kind of play like a 2-3?
Somewhat stalled for now.
And have like better protocols for teams pushing, but we don't really see it yet. Teams still lean into like a 4-1 where you're playing the Vice like a Cypher.
Some good damage. I say that, but he's taken out by the salvos. Pushy.
Painful. Monyet then kind of flooding back in with his team as
they
well.
They put the smokes in, so it's a very hard call to cancel the site here.
Lot of that utility there. 40 seconds.
Yeah, like look at them, it's like smokes are in, we've been told that we have to keep going now.
Just with Monyet and Jemkin. Jemkin tries to hold the angle close range.
Okay, really nice run from DRX. In an ideal world, their RRQ actually like cancel, the reason they can do it all the time is because they have the Neon. Like once you lose your smokes, this is like the comp that can cancel the most, just because you have the wall as backup.
Cheeky little ideas,
but
and more
yeah, I don't know how much they've spoken about it. Jerry on with the Prime, thank you with the 7 months, I appreciate that. I love that DRX are pushing aggro on this one. They can just do this pretty much every round on defense. A lot
of information on how they would have played previously, so if you have a scenario like that, well, number one, change your agent lineups. That's always going to be a way to change things up. And so far, so good for RRQ on that mark. Meanwhile, Monyet and Hyunmin, once again, both Neons down first.
You might argue that it's a bigger kill just considering the fact that it's the op that was robbed away.
Damn, a fine dish.
Oh,
there's 4 of them there. You can't really blame DRX for thinking there's not going to be that many people there because they just see the solo Vice, and then so far it's literally been a solo Vice. So you can understand why he feels confident to swing into that.
A little bit easier for yourselves. You do know as well that it has been Bane playing kind of by himself at this B site in these moments in time too, and he's not been able to really find anything on the kill department, so it's not the worst idea for them to be rotating silently towards this Bravo site.
Certainly is a tall ask for the poor guy.
Yep.
Still, you know, having surgery scheduled for another day.
And with that orb gathered by Xferro, you pick up a Steel Garden too, so they can leave him down in unders and set up for a pretty good little take here. You just got to consider that trap.
Check the timing of it.
Front of the choke point. And the other
utility as well, though.
Molly, you have to respect this.
Does Bane have a shorty? That's my question. It does
20 seconds. 3-person stack.
Weapons to come back online, so.
Oh god, 15 seconds.
10 seconds left. RRQ has got to go.
Guys.
So far, so good. Able to hold out the back lines. RRQ just trying to push up the tree now, while Mako and Freeing find kills.
Okay, they're gonna time out. They got a timeout here. This is 2 rounds where it's 2 rounds where they. I know they know that there's a stack here. They don't wanna cancel. It was a nice util from DRX though. The Molly, yeah, they had good Brim Molly and then good Salmon.
You're spamming and just trying to deny the spike from going on down. Really nice done from DRX to answer back and, you know, not drop the round after they find their first. The operator as well. Okay. Yet again attained for Hyunmin.
Not quite sounded off yet. Monyet trying to jump peek to bait out the shot,
nice
but
shot.
Oh, midair. Just completely sniped down.
Yep. And with not a lot of space control as well, and the open A or B orb, you know, for the likes of Cushy potentially to get an Armageddon online, right? You want to try and gain some sort of leg back up here as RRQ, some free kill. Definitely see, you know, the likes of the stuns and Jemkin's orbital strike if they need to. Going towards this A site now, where Freeing will start to spot some information out of this drone. The one member.
You do have Mako playing in a different position this time. This is one that RQ might not expect. The Molly, though, now noted, does buy some time. They will continue to push on through with that orbital strike, but still decent kills found on the side of DRX.
Get the Fawns down, Spike can't cross yet. Dude, good reaction from Hyunmin.
Actually finally going in, but it's Hyunmin with the smoke fading. The overdrive is in, traded out by xFaroe.
Repositioned onto the other side, and that just buys further time and information as well. Now, Estrella and Bane to flood back in.
Split retake.
Angles held one apiece. Got some cages to possibly get more space to close up the distance. Bane still not fully detected so far. Until now, stutter steps over, fault lines back in, but Estrella good on the spams. Just for the final one, running out of ammo. Crazy
just like, please, man, just one extra bullet hit.
And it's Bane
they can take some space there.
You know, getting electric in a lot of these rounds for DRX, of course. That's something that
one of those where I feel like the RRQ members, you've seen a lot of this today at the moment, where 2v2
plays a little bit to a person's mentality in a scenario like this too.
There's like no plan for one of the twos, and they're kind of just waiting for them to get a little bit closer. It'd be a lot better for them to like double swing over towards here and Sands. You can do it pretty safely.
Or if they're not able to counter DRX.
Like someone just needs to take control in those situations, and that comes like this is all pretty relative with the boom situation as well, where it's like in those situations here someone has to make a call for a plan, and when you're in like groups and everything's flowing, people just come up, like loads of people come up with plans. It doesn't have to be your IGL, but in the game before this, and even just that situation there, like I'm wondering if they're too scared to come up with a plan. Like they just need to double swing Sands there. That guy top side's always gonna get spammed.
Absolutely. I mean, bamboozled that you'd ever take him off it. Let's be real.
Hello, Yampy. Yeah, dude, it is. Why are you answering your own questions? What do you expect me to say now?
Don't get me wrong.
You're having a full conversation with yourself, Yampy.
In that current point in time.
Well, he's back on it now.
Yep.
And he's also finding so much information with the
You might as well ask yourself what you ate today, and then answer that as well.
Slight difference. Hyunmin back on the op.
Yeah, so after the timeout now, let's see if RRQ
okay, op still in play.
Conversion rate here, because they don't have a good one successfully so far.
Dude, Hyunmin's out here getting wrecked when he's got this op though. At least over towards Dish.
Pull back from that one.
5 pass and send it from Dish. Oh, it's the plant after plant. Here we go.
Yeah, but it's all 5 members from
Let's keep an eye on this one. Monyet's gonna run the gauntlet. He's going up to the top of site. He's gonna plant. We got salvos. We got breach damage. We got Molly. He got the plant though. He's done his job. But DRX fast enough with this one. Looks like they're pretty fast on it. Holy.
The trigger discipline now coming alive. He finds the first. Looks for the
defuse though.
Mako quick to deal with it.
Whoa.
The spike though.
I still think they. I mean, the half probably wins it.
Will deal with his opponent. His
Did they breach it as well? Oh no.
Neural theft coming through as
Davos just in time, but there's still time to defuse this, and they used the breach shield as well. Oh, wow, it's an absolute shocker from RRQ. They panicked a little bit as well. Breach shield came in while the Molly's covering it. They weren't ready for the tap of the insta-fast half.
As well, right? Jump in towards the site, get your plant down quickly, and play with a lot of this post-plant utility. It's something that we see from this agent combination time and time again from teams on this map, where you're putting your aftershock in, you're putting your Molly, and if you've got ultimates dropping them there as well,
gotta show some trigger discipline.
I think as soon as DRX recognize what's happening there, getting the spike defused half, at least early on, makes it a little bit more achievable, especially, you know, when you've then wasted all that utility of your opponents real early on, and then they have to drop in towards the site for the challenge. So well done for DRX there. A golf clap for RRQ, who now in this new round played a little bit slower. A lot of the stingers, and one phantom for Xfero.
An attempt at rushing through from tree. Not too bad so far, but with the overdrive
these flashes
going over,
were pretty
Mako,
good.
quick on the draw, just holds the angle down. Monyet instantly eliminated. The rest of RQ then trying to rotate on forward.
A great kill from Mako.
Well.
Yeah, they hold up. And make
And
sure
Mako
Monyet's not able to
Mako's
find
such a
anything
beast,
with
man.
the overdrive. And now that they start to immediately book it towards the A side of things, freeing is going to be here early.
Big time, hello mate. Thank you so much for the prime.
I mean, at this point,
Appreciate
it's
the
just a full
34 months.
stampede. He hears all of it. So
You believe in an RRQ?
First kill. Decent trade coming out from Crazy Guy, so that's a weapon picked
I'm
up.
just hoping for a good
Still
game,
so
man.
many more
That's such a devastating
threats to
first
use
first game.
Trying to hold the off angle to play spoiler around it. Mako.
Oh, he gets around the corner as well.
Of.
Oh, dude, you can
Fault line
delay
sent
so
back
much.
over. Certainly expecting someone from Sands as well as a main, because she might have heard the single step. He's trying to play close range with the stinger, but look at that. Swings out from a strand. Crazy Guy trying to hold it down.
Nice,
but
he handled. Dude, what a shot
Hyunmin
that is from Hyunmin. The slide out
He
up.
was there, right? He'd already found the first kill.
Great shot.
A little bit earlier on. Hadn't repositioned because of where that spike is planted too. Bit unfortunate for RRQ, but very good patience for
Calvin,
DRX
thanks so much for the prime, mate. Appreciate the 26 months.
A little bit awkward for them when Monyet starts to get the first kill. The overdrive,
Dude, that's what I'm saying,
goes
Calvin.
RRQ's way. They probably convert the round from there on out. A good challenge from RRQ nonetheless. It should afford them still a bye coming in towards this next round. And maybe look for a bit of a different look as well, right? 5 in a row now for DRX, finding stability on this defensive side.
Maybe a simple one on this. Let's see, one away from a Vice or...
B site early yet again. You'd contend with the Cypher util. There's also a change of approach actually for DRX here. Breach and Teo util to combine towards Arcade. Maybe need to think a little bit better of that with the drone.
Okay, they find the trip.
From the spawn side of things.
Oh, I'm not sure how much research they've done in,
a little bit telling
but like
now, at least, Komodo.
this might feel likely.
We've seen this before. Monyet still trying to toss.
Oh, that's the salvo, mate.
As possible, but the salvos, they will
He changed up his path to make sure he can dodge the trips, but
yeah, I mean, look at the rotations with
oh
the door.
boy, the stim pack to open the door and then you can insta shoot. That was sick.
Doesn't go the right way, but it doesn't matter because the kills currently are one back for Xfero.
So much info found, and in with the Steel Garden as well. Just an attempt at pushing DRX back.
And we're desperate. 2v4 Vice.
And Xfero needing to come up huge in this close range duel. Flash dodged, second flash over, but look at that. Triple peaked, low HP is Crazy Guy, but he still tries and stands tall. Looks to fight back.
Nicely done from Hyunmin again. Hyunmin's doing his role great as well. He's making space every single time. There needs to be some kind of trade.
Provide a different breed of Valorant at the moment, but when you've got these players that are just super sharp and super attentive,
Couple of rounds where RRQ are just
quick, right?
sending their ults into it. We had the breach ult earlier. We had the
trying to go in amongst the cages and the salvos that will be his demise there. A bit of a rough start for RRQ, trying to find some timing on this rotation to the A site as well, but it's a 4 versus 2 scenario at the end, and Crazy Guy can only do so much.
DRX, that's 6 rounds in a row now, Komodo. And as we look on to the next round as well, it's one of these early peaks out from Hyunmin again.
Yep. But it's not going to happen. Xfero falling on back. Information confirmed by the Arcros.
The position played from RQ in the previous round, so DRX then trying to play conservative around what would be Arcade.
You do have
I mean, this is
for
the best round for RRQ so far. Not a push up through here as well, so they have to all push over towards spawn. Ult does mean that the smokes maybe go down. Reach. Oh god. Absolute chaos. Does Crazy Guy expect this or hear it? He does.
It's going to be Crazy Guy out towards tree. Hyunmin chiming in as well from the canteen spot. But the spike finally goes down. Jemkin trying to hold the angle. Cushy as well. And they will fend off DRX for now.
Good tail, really good tail. Oh, this is a great
into the
one.
open where the kills will come through. Just Mako left. He was up huge with 44 big kills from yesterday's game, but this time quickly spotted out. Intel gained by Jemkin.
This was nice though.
RRQ,
but this might have been nice because DRX didn't reactively push A main,
right?
like early.
Welcomed with open arms and then try to contend in the scrap battle with the ults going around, with Hyunmin trying to do what he can with the operator as well. But the trade game working a little bit better for RRQ when the plant goes down as well. That 2 versus 1 at the end there.
Tell you what was a big decider here.
Losing. Valiant attempts on that.
Dude, this DRX, they're not messing about.
Finally shut down, and a timeout now to have a discussion on how the remaining 2 rounds want to go of this half.
Certainly not wanting to concede the final 2 over to RRQ at least.
Out of the last 7 rounds, they lost 1. And he goes and insta timeout.
That we might have just noticed with that that contest towards this B site.
I mean, you just got to be really attentive in a scenario like that. Like, if RRQ are getting in towards the site, you're trying to dump a lot of your util as well, you're going to get caught off on some unexpected timings and just shenanigans afoot, right? So your adjustments are going to mainly be to try and stop them from getting in that early or go for a little bit of a better crunch, better flank.
And we have a bashful DRX fan. Well, you're definitely right about that, Komodo. I mean, just needing to
Kids
think
going
about
through it, man.
RRQ has not been letting their feet off the gas pedal so far. It's been a bit telling, but
someone else that hasn't lifted their feet, Marco, on this brim. Shooting up Storm.
13 kills and only 6 deaths so far.
Timeout. Gone by the wayside. So was the economy of DRX, so this buy, a little bit lackluster. And Bane, well, you're probably no longer for this world soon, are you? 31 HP. You weather through.
You're going to think that he might have hopped off somewhere else.
Yeah, just fall back, dodge the util.
Then the drone. Look at this timing.
Nice though, then you see the Vice.
Proactive as DRX here when you go in with a much.
There's a good chance right now that the Vice went over towards here and everyone else went on the pass.
You know, just great long range duels.
With them shooting that though, 4 pass and stack. Good call from RRQ to go back over towards B. What's the... See, DRX's comp should struggle a little bit on attack against the Vice.
Oh, but the drone. So that will offset the Bucky reload timing. Monyet fully capitalizing on it to then capture the site for the spike plant soon enough. Hyunmin with the overdrive though. He's looking to get spicy with it. Unfortunately, Spice is something that Xfero's really familiar with, so just 3v5 right now with lesser guns.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate stun, wasn't it?
Positions being held currently as well. Estrella just trying to, sidestep in. Not too bad off the Stinger kill. Mako to swing, but still, they're contending with the RRQ grades. Monyet, Crazy Guy, they're all having these angles locked in.
Jemkin's going to be 1 away from his ult. That's it for the last round. There's going to be too much.
Constellation pickups at this point. The bot line comes back in. He's trying to dodge all of them. He gets another kill. Not too bad. But still RRQ 5-6 now.
Yeah, you'll take
5. Dude, I think I'd be. I think I'd be happy with this.
RRQ getting another round on the board. It had been a little bit since drinks, right? So getting that there after the first 3 that they started off with. Try and chase the equal scoreline, 6 apiece. As DRX will be presenting with a buy in this one as well. And hopefully, you know, if you're a fan of theirs, get a little bit more attentive with these rotations, right? Because RRQ finding some gaps, finding some good little twos and fros. But it's back to the old faithful. Breach Tear and Neon A main control.
Ooh.
See what the answer
back
is.
Are they going to push out though? Yeah, as soon as they hear that drone, you know they're going for it.
Yeah, they'll hold the angle. Fault line exchanged.
Yeah, and a deeper smoke now as well.
Once again, back to where Bane is holding the site somewhat solo.
Bit different though, not playing in towards the tower. You got one trip towards the north side of things, but it's not at tower itself.
Cam slightly more hidden spot as well.
This is going to be a little bit problematic though for DRX if this is going to be the calm before the storm moment for RRQ. Jemkin gathering that orb would pick up an orbital strike as well.
Just gonna
go here, but it's only one info trip.
Between both teams.
Yeah, Marco with the incendiary needs some good position off it.
Thinks better to toss it over to the top.
Right, Jemkin doesn't go for the
inside of the cage, and that's
orb here.
theft. Jemkin orb not entirely yet picked up. The situation does not favor such a scenario, so needing to push up front, they try to play around the smokes in towards tower, where Bane is holding true. Off to just Xfero now, and he's quickly, instantly killed.
Too bad. I still think
RRQ and good timing and awareness from DRX.
I think RRQ should be feeling alright with this. Obviously, it's like bad because you start with 3-0 and you're ending out with 5. Like, it's insane comeback from DRX, but comp-wise, this is enough. They got to improve their ult rounds though.
They don't have to worry about the tower for a couple of seconds when
sometimes they can call around ults more as well. Like here, for sure, they should be getting an orb. Got 4 orbs around the map. Jemkin's one away from his Rimmel. Be an easy call.
Just fantastic adjustments going over, and you gotta imagine, you know, whether it's the coaching staff or the calling from Estrella, they managed to pull it over. Well,
the true vibe mergent. Am I allowed to like remove these options and put texture on the left side and texture on the right side? Like
that's the difference, right? You gotta imagine with all the Korean fans, you know, Bane is a really sharp-dressed dude. Monyet, though, ooh.
Yeah, they would both have their moments, I gotta say. They would both be the
True enough.
guys.
We did have a moment between Monyet and Stacks just a couple weeks ago. Monyet right now has been trying to come online. I do imagine he's got, you know, he is a Neon, it is what it is, but he's coming away with a lot of first deaths where they don't necessarily always amount to too much. Possibly seeing the op picked up from him onto the second half now, where RRQ will be swapping over onto the defense.
The DRX always look good. They keep changing players, and I made their coaching staff's actually unreal. It's insane what they do in a short amount of time. I always say this on Plat Chat as well. It feels like they have a time machine. The amount of times they change their comp but have like good strat book with the new comp it's impressive. They're definitely very good at. I mean, I think they work really hard, to be honest.
Cheeky spot angle is going to be Monyet.
I feel like their actual practice. I think their practice, if I was to guess, probably are one of the longest out of all the teams. Because I don't know how they do it otherwise.
RRQ are looking for these firefights, you know, trying to contend with the spike plants as they go through. The fault line coming in now, and look at this crossfire, perfectly set up by RRQ.
The great stun, he's got to get a lot here though. Oh, think about it, comms.
He finds a 3K, but freeing trades right back.
Plant goes down, Cage. For when that smoke starts to fade as well, will provide some safety. I think he saw him over the top of the cage. He did! And now it's all down to Kushi.
He does have the salvos. Slight drone as well. Kind of knows where his opponents are. We'll deal with freeing real quick.
It's fast from Bane though.
Final bogey. Bane
fast reaction from him.
Off to the other side. Kushi sticks it to halfway, spots out the head, but Bane!
Big kill from Bane, dude.
The sharp flick instead.
It was fast though. As soon as he realized he was up against the tail, he's instantly going for this.
For old mate Kushi at the end of that one. Had he stuck the defuse, I mean, he would have actually won the round. A bit unfortunate that he opts for the challenge, but you're always going to kind of understand that. Some great shots out from Monyet, but a difference in not having some tower control for the likes of your Sentinel meant that
one on the
there could be a
pistols.
bit of a creep up coming up there for the trade as well.
Can I just say though?
He's confused. How have I won that?
Yeah, he is like, how's he giving me this?
Still able to put up these numbers. It's quite. It deserves applause.
He's been given the goods. Pistols though now for RRQ dropping. Well, the pistol round, so we'll see what damage they are going to do.
A lot of noise. RRQ all rotating on over. Trying to play close range. Right click will be found. And met with more contest.
Wait, this is almost card worthy.
Force their way out of this smoke. Decent shots found though with the rifles, but still Monyet able to deal with most of it all. Rifles now picked up, but a reload must be made. Fresh mag. And will there be fresh kills? He spots out a singular opponent.
I wonder if Xfero can try and get the wall, the shear, to get across there.
He's gonna let him pick up some guns, maybe.
It could be cool.
Dude, as soon as this door opens, they can just.
Mako has an incendiary to toy with. Goes with time peak. Ooh, quick
go get a gun.
20 HP, but he is using these regen shields, so he will be back up. Time though afforded to Crazy Guy to get the Bulldog and reposition.
Yeah, it's a Bulldog on the other side, so even with a regen shield.
He's looking at the right angle too, 30 seconds.
You would consider Mako trying to play off of timing.
Scary.
It causes his opponents to sweat. He's playing with the positioning as well.
Damn, dude.
This
was a
an easy angle,
shocker of an antique of the DRX, though.
Yeah, that one was a little bit too quick for DRX to try and just bully their way in towards the site.
He hand-delivered them a gun through the smoke.
Get out through the sky smoke. You're going into just a crossfire, and then you're spotted. You're not able to get any of these trades. It just, you give the guns over as well. I mean, that one is a bit of a missed call from DRX, maybe just expecting RRQ to not be there.
I honestly think that might cost him. Because this comp is, this on defense is a nightmare.
As the next round heads on up, DRX with the, well, weaker buy.
Yeah, what do we see in the previous series, though? Yeah, I know it's a different map and all, and it's more close proximity gunplay on Split. The solo Stinger.
God, they're pushing against the ecos now as well.
But in this sort of situation where RRQ kind of are already spreading the map and it's near entirety, you've got full south side control, you've got B site control. The only way they come in is through dish.
Nervous for everyone.
And now you
nice shot.
Right. Full intel gained. Angles.
Gotta protect the gun.
As well as he peeks on over with the crouch.
There could be a plan here, honestly. No one's going to be able to deny that one, so DRX will fashion that up.
Oh boy, guys.
Decent money, but still in with the peeks out now. It's going to be crazy guy dealing with Mako. Looking to launch this assault onto the side from tree side. Estrella, if he is able to find that one frag, that would be
great damage. Oh my goodness. Almost. Dude, it's a good little around the wall though. Give me freeing.
It's going to be freeing who sneaks all the way through though.
Remove the ult. Oh, I can't do it.
Oh, Monyet desperately trying to keep the run alive, but Freeing, look at that tap. Continues to peek into the spike defuse as well, and it just completely
dude, everyone's messing up, man.
DRX up
everyone's
9-6.
messing up.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That's the one out there from DRX.
It was nice, though.
Round, RRQ thrifting with one
give
alive.
that to
Well,
Freeing.
this time it's DRX with 3.
He hasn't had to do too much.
Some great positioning, honestly, taken, but Freeing some great shots and a great relurk to come out through unders. A shot on the Monyet there. I believe when the overdrive faded, it might have been. Regardless, though, it's some great shots to bring some normalcy back towards it, right?
Dude, they decided to push, which is risky, but then they're not in the right positions to protect the guns, and the people with the guns are playing in the right positions. It's just everyone else just isn't there to protect it, so it ends up being a 1v1, and they let him get the gun before he took the 1v1.
Sure. Stats-wise, nonetheless, it's still going to be RRQ or trying to hold off to this arcade position. Monyet with his own Stinger at play. But you got DRX with a split push from both ends. RRQ not entirely sure where to look.
Yeah, nice. Stabilized a little bit, and they start to get a lot of ults here as well. It's going to be really rough, man. RRQ. Dude, both of these teams.
With those kills. He's 20 currently. He's got that good ult.
This was such a mess up from both teams.
And the ults.
Certainly wanting to provide DRX back in towards the international stage, and as we'd be expecting a timeout to come here, I'll add a caveat of maybe not finishing in the 5th to 6th spot.
Ooh. Well, that's one thing. But it is just the first map so far, Komodo. Definitely RRQ trying their darndest to contend with this, but DRX living true to their name.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where I don't expect RRQ to be out of
Rookie of the year. Well, I don't know. I think that's probably the hardest one to call this year.
In the last couple of rounds,
there's probably about 10.
Seen, but it's early,
10 that
right?
should be up there.
Half, and
then how do you even pick one? You got to wait for more results this year.
If you're able to weather through,
I don't think anyone can comfortably say anyone at the moment.
Didn't catch it just before. There's a couple that are available coming in towards.
I think you got to wait for some kind of
more
results of like bigger stage. There's so many. There's so many.
Rounds on the board.
Possibly try to bait some of those ults out would help them for the, well, few possible remaining rounds that we might have.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to, you know, kind of bait them into using the Armageddon or the Orbital Strike, it's certainly going to be well worth it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Back of the timeout now, you've got a slight change up for RRQ too, putting Xferro with his Vice utility towards the A site. Though if I'm looking at the fellas and where they're sitting, you are literally in the spot for an Armageddon and an Orbital Strike to give you a bad day.
Right. just completely hunkered down, you know, especially with the Vi's utility trying to
go for nice ult,
head on. Gunman looking to sidestep it, but will still be quickly sussed out.
Oh, that's a nice ult as well. Little combo, you ain't getting out of that. Holy dude, we got some nice ults going.
Completely raises everyone to the ground.
Been a little bit of mixed match in terms of ults on that, but this was a huge one.
Yet caught with gun, not in hand, and Jemkin was just seen in the tower before.
Smoked off as well. They kind of know where he is. He cannot afford to make a single peep, so far so good.
He almost needs all three of these to be 1v1s, eh?
Skulks over. Oh, might have seen the barrel. 1v1s, are they possible, Komodo? Oh, in with the movement from DRX, though. It's a little bit too tough. And because he's tagged, it just buys more time away.
Gotta consider the save.
Yeah, you just gotta save, mate.
I think you only got about 20 seconds left maybe on this spike.
I mean, this was lovely ults from DRX.
Not gonna do anything either,
the RRQ ult was good as well, but they like tunnel visioned a little bit in terms of being out in the open. I mean, they could get shot on the sides. But
you've got
maybe that was because of Munyet's, sorry, of Hyunmin's wall.
Certainly looking good. The orbital and the Armageddon both were used. You're really not getting out of dodge in that scenario. We saw the RRQ fellas do lose their life, courtesy of them as well. And these are those sort of rounds, right, where you've got that timeout that happens and you don't convert the round after it. I mean, look at that moment there. For literally a split second before Bane gets the trade, it was a 5 versus 3. You call it a 4 versus 3, but then DRX able to just achieve greatness. 11-6. This is going to be the round where there's a stretch of a buy for
probably
RRQ,
get into 12 with this. Got the low buy.
If this one goes haywire, they're going to have to play for the flawless variety to push us into OT.
That's exactly what DRX wanted, this scoreline favoring them so much. RRQ now just trying to hunker down as much as possible. 3 stacked up towards this tower position.
Yeah, do they want to go? They see the sheer wall, try and bait that one out. They saw the thorns, courtesy of the stealth drone as well. These are the sort of scenarios for DRX where you might actually consider them changing
they put
their
the smokes in
Rolling Thunder in, they want to go.
All right,
yeah, this was... I mean, DRX just tried to force it too much. This was the classic, this was the classic, we put the smokes in here, we still gotta go.
Exactly.
They should have
stalls their engine, yeah. Finds every single player, just the 2 left.
Yeah, they have tried to one-dimensionally go in towards the B site, forgetting that there's going to be Vice utility, Breach utility, Brim utility, Teo utility. Like, I'm throwing all of it in there, right? You're not getting in towards that site in that sort of scenario. That's why I thought they were actually going to backpedal after baiting out the shear, but apparently not.
Same here. Certainly was a little bit odd. But it is also quite one of these rounds where they might be able to condition RRQ into holding this even further.
It's a lifeline, though.
Save? Dude, this is, I mean, this is nice for RRQ.
12. They
a lot of money.
A couple of these weapons as well. Build up a bit of that extra cash in case they do lose one, and we'll give them another buy into the round after.
Right? Much sorely needed cash. Look at how they're able to collect on another free weapon as well. Oh. Okay.
Ambitious, Xferro.
Xferro was on that boom squad from...
Well, nah, he had the stinger, I think, still going into that one. So with death, he will carry over the steel guard.
Yeah, it was worth the attempt.
7-11. So questionable-ish round from DRX.
See, it is a questionable round, but at the same time, they have just been sight hitting and they haven't been shut down. So
looks like we are going to have some coach intervention now.
I think I don't really blame them for trying to just force that a little bit because it's been working.
Been saved up, but I do see blue on the stage. It's 2 more rounds for DRX to bring this map to a close. Certainly running into some roadblocks right now. Very well set up by RRQ.
I think a character that steals ult would be too OP. It'd be okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't...
Depends on what the rest of the kit is. The strong ult though. Depends how it works as well, to be honest.
Structure in this next round as well, right? Try to bait out a bit of this utility of RRQ. Try to figure out what sort of position.
What are you talking about? You're just talking like if you get an ult, you can pick any of their ults or something. You're not saying like you actually steal their ult and they don't have ult.
But back into it, yes. Certainly a lot to consider as well. RQ now with the buys. taking a look at the utility on the map so far as well, Komodo, I mean, we're not really seeing too much from the Vise, just the wall, the Razor Vine possibly.
Yeah, I think more importantly coming into this fresh round is going to be what RRQ have for.
Okay, you can see more of a complex run from DRX, that's for sure.
It, right? You've got Steel
Garden, and we're at least gonna be maybe
quite successful of stopping DRX from even getting into these sites a little bit too, right? So you've got options.
Try to find the wall before we put the smokes down, I guess. Conservative with the smokes.
And you've got the retake set up for Monyet, and that's why I kind of highlight these little retake abilities that they're going to hold on to in this sort of scenario, because Monyet can just let them get into the site, go for a bit of a spray, be cautious through the smokes that you've got a Vandal that you are spraying with, but ultimately as RRQ, this was the idea, right? You either play stack at A, or you retake B.
Okay, and so you gotta look at DRX here, and they're pretty on top of what's gonna go down. They go double, is this double or one underpass? One underpass. They go one underpass knowing that they're probably gonna be pushing to try and get that Visor into underpass. Did we go to 3 pass and hold to make sure they can't get underpass and use this Visor?
So good, but here comes Bane, quickly 86th. It's just down to Mako.
Yeah, there goes the Visor, but they won the duels.
Unfortunately gets gunned down. So in with the utility, it's down to a numbers game. Hyunmin trying to stay alive. He managed to deal with the first.
Good, dude, honestly, respect, man. RRQ played this well. Shout out to Crazy Guy here. Once he knew where he was as well, he tucked in for a good amount of time so the trade could come in. DRX did good here. I know they lost this round, but they're very on top of what the plan is. As soon as they get this free side over towards B, they're like, well, we know that they're going to be going underpass and try to use this all against us, so they tried to defend it heavy.
On towards freeing, and then it just started out the trades in towards the kill feed. So a bit unfortunate for the likes of DRX that they're not able to win out on the 5 versus 5, but that was always the idea for RRQ, right? Play with the stack over at the A site and go for the retake, which works successfully.
Good calling? Yeah, it was good calling from both teams. Last time the RRQ go for something aggro, they don't need to do this against this comp, but I do think throwing it in is nice. Last time they put this smoke down insta though, does it become obvious? Oh, apparently not.
Still though on the other side, Bane
didn't wait for the stun.
That smoke was a little bit suspicious enough.
This is a problematic position though for RRQ. Player deficit, you've lost smokes in Jemkin, you've lost Monyet. Couple of ults there go down as well. Cushy has to come up huge, plays into the position, spots out the camera.
Can't see Cushy gets away with this.
And run away. He stalls them with the stun.
There's still a minute to go though, and DRX don't necessarily need to go full on. Will they expect Xfero this far pushed out main? Because you're considering in a scenario like this, you do need to absolutely cut some corners as RRQ. You need to catch your opponents off guard. So let's see if Xfero does.
With the way that DRX are moving though, I certainly expect them to check the corners at the very least. But crouched into it. Xfero will collect onto 2 skulls.
He did good though, man. He did good. His teammate gets over towards site early and they're not going to expect it, I want to say.
Springs out, low HP Hyunmin, but
dude, Cushy played this well as well.
1v1 now, and it's still possible, but a full kit afforded
the
to
spam.
Crazy Guy, and there is a chance. Spike planted.
Ooh, will he see him through the corner of anything?
None so far. Crazy Guy,
damn, Hyunmin 45 HP.
Hyunmin.
What a round.
That nearly looks doable for
RRQ. Oh no, it was doable for RRQ. Okay, 4 chances for DRX. Lot of ults here.
That might have been a little bit of a nail in the coffin for the
this guy needs to wait for the stun here. Look at that stun. You wait like a little bit. He just insta-reacted instead of waiting.
It's Mako and Hyunmin able to get the job done. Cushy trying his darndest. But just a bit of an elevated off angle from Hyunmin at the end that gets good favor for DRX to find map point on the map of their own choosing. 4 rounds now that RRQ have to play with to try and claw back into overtime, and a lot of ultimates that they do have to play with too. Especially for more retakes as well, but right now playing the info.
Okay, it's contact into stun into Brimo.
Send Monyet in. But DRX,
and DRX just dodged the bullet.
No drone coming your way over at the A site. So I wonder for RRQ, how long do they take before going for some further information?
For DRX though, I mean, you don't see any reactions coming out from RRQ just yet, so you're certainly considering this A position as well. So slowly back into this B spot. You
You got
Vise wall.
You got to remember though, last time they tried to get in through this, they were just peppered with utility and the rolling thunder that Australia threw in.
This guy might get absolutely wrecked in heaven
You're
here.
either getting numbers to
And
go
you
through
can see
this
the
wall
big change up,
together, or
right?
you're
Them
baiting
finding
it
the
out. I think it's
wall
gonna be the
instead of
only
like
way
putting
out.
the smokes down so they can actually make a good plan around it.
Let's rip the steel
Yeah, they know that he's in heaven now with his Vice ult. They have shorty, so they might be tempted to go there. Oh, he could farm. Great jump, though.
But in with the right clicks is freeing. Close range, Mako. Smoke off even further, but the spams! Spike has been dropped. And that does not bode
Yeah, and
well
keep
for
an eye on
DRX.
Monyet.
They might
Monyet
have the
is here
crossfire
behind
set
his
up
own
until
smoke,
this
though.
buys
Smoke
further
just went.
time. RRQ all in position. Mako, ooh, oh, he made a sound.
Yeah, he's not going to check this one, you'd expect.
Down to the final two. Just Bane and freeing up from tower. Fast lanes up. They're all kind of getting stunned. The salvos will buy some time. Bane trying to get some crosshair placements, but still in for the trades. Numbers game once again. Freeing has to come up huge to possibly close out the map, but his HP is way too low. RRQ, all they got to do is hold down mouse 1.
He's a
and
lot
they
of
will
old
push
slow.
themselves up. Once again, 9-12.
Yeah, they hold on. Nicely done. Getting all the trades out there as well. Bit of an unlucky shot through the smokes too, by the way, that catches one of the DRX members. Bit unfortunate on there for Australia. As Mako also pushing forward, gives up a bit of an impossible situation for the remaining two fellas. They try to make some good work for it, but another successful retake to come through from RRQ. I think they're pretty happy that they're converting.
Okay, 3 chances to end this, and they got double hero gun. Probably won't use the tail into this, but
DRX onto the week-old buy, so
you never know how the round's gonna go.
RRQ, though a different look right
Oh,
now
what
for
an
DRX.
absolute shot. Oh, this gets
Finally
weird now.
wins a quick engagement towards
Gets really
A-Main.
weird.
And that's the side already
Gun to pick
captured.
up
You
on
also
sight.
have Bane
Tail ult
slowly
becomes
creeping up
super
from
tempting.
south side.
They got good.
Still though, RRQ in position from the
What?
Raptor spot. They will be able to snipe out a couple of players. Spike then coming back in. Drone spotted as well, so no true suppression. Freeing might be able to play with the retakes on this. Oh, Mako, what a peek!
Freeing has the ult, remember?
Yeah,
But he's stuck
exactly.
on the side. Ooh.
Yeah, Mako
sends
has
it out.
Molly as well.
Try to push his opponents offline. Mako
They're both
now
the
coming
lineup.
with lineups.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too late, unfortunately. That one, that can just be stuck on the defuse for Jemkin, and he knows it as well. So the round is done. Bane, he's not even going to get an upgrade of a weapon. He's just going to stick with the Sheriff in towards the next round.
Okay,
So that's
too, though.
actually
It was a good
little
attempt
bit
from
rough.
DRX. Dude, I really thought it was done. They got some
Confused and
spams
questioning Freeing's
again. It's kind of
ultimate
back-to-back rounds where they get the
location. You know,
spams through the
he's in the
smoke.
game, of course, so you kind of think that there's
Great
some
shot.
reason behind it, but you've
That
already
one
lost a lot
shot.
of this space, and you know there's advantage for the likes of RRQ when it's in the site itself.
First
so
seed
that
cast.
ultimate, maybe you try and
Maybe.
scare them away. It might have been better instead of scaring them in to the site.
Who knows? It definitely does feel a little bit disconnected, though, Komodo, I will admit. Next round up, and once again, it's Hyunmin looking to bypass all of the utility. Stalled for now, but it does bait out so much from
RRQ didn't think they would go for it again.
DRX
I
wait out
don't
for the
think they
smoke,
can
play
play
towards
off the
tower
plant with
spot.
the
You've
ult
got a
situation
little
like
later one coming in
this.
towards Dish 2, which has a time limit
Sorry,
on it. Now
retake
that
with the ult
trap wire
situation
on
like
the north
this.
side of things has been
It's good. It's a good
broken.
reaction from
So
RRQ
whilst
to
DRX
take
may
the
be able to
space,
establish a
but
plan,
this is a
you know
hard
that RRQ have been
retake.
quite successful
They've
in
done a
these
very good
retakes,
job
so
of
that was a
going
feat. How'd
aggro
they
on
fare
the
out?
sides, but
We'll see. For now, it's
having this as the end, they got to win some duels.
Certainly aware.
Oh,
look
that's
at
a
Monyet
great
with the
little
movement.
stun.
Still, though, Bane comes in with the assist.
You expect another one?
They will push.
Ooh.
Oh, and it's Sphero.
What?
Double kill picked up. Arc Rose to flash and gather more space as well, but look at the
Ah,
side.
okay, Mako's is a beast, is he?
The multi-kill king himself, and he's finding a couple more, but Cushy answers back as well.
Freeing has no salvos, 30 seconds. He has to challenge, but it's
What?
not open.
Has to go for the gunplay. In for the smokes, and he's trying to get him off of the spike, but Cushy sticks it to
my
halfway.
God.
Continuing to stick all the way
Oh
through
my God.
now.
Oh
and
my God.
there it is. He
Oh my
fused down to
God.
3
How has he
seconds.
done
A
that?
good kill at
That's
the end
an
of it, but
unbelievable
still
1v3.
one away from overtime.
Oh,
That is an
boy, that one gets a little
unbelievable
bit too hot
1v3.
under the collar. You think
How?
there for DRX. You thought that maybe, hey, just maybe, that
That's
one
insane,
would come the
dude.
way to them. But no, it's the double from Xfero. It's a double back
This
from
is what we were
Marco.
saying about the
Not
rookies. Like, this
enough
guy
at
has to
the
get a
end
shout
for
because
Cushy to be able to win
he's
a
been playing
1
unreal, and what the
versus
hell is
3
this?
Red Bull clutch.
Unbelievable comeback coming through from this Indonesian team.
Insane. 4 chances down to 1 last chance.
Space, but how confident they are right now.
They go super aggro over towards A main. They get that ult as well. Something that they need to be doing on attack a little bit more. At least they're doing it now.
Big round for them. Last round of regulation. And if you're trying to go to this B site, there's again another little change up of location from Initiator. Your breach is here.
They both smoke at the same time. They know they're trying to default break the walls. As soon as the smoke comes in, you know they're trying to default and break this wall. So we see a lot of spams going in. I'm not sure DRX can do that. I think that's way too obvious. I think they're lucky to only lose 1 there.
As well, which could deter so much. DRX trying to hang back towards this A spot. I mean, this is why making that much noise in towards A main early on was
It's funny because if they had waited 1 extra second, RRQ would have smoked for them. It's a great tail. It stops the initial hit. They can get a bit of a rotate going on. That's a good reaction from DRX though. It's that same thing where they now need to push on the sides, but they got no one pushed on the sides. Great shot.
Hyunmin though, into a tiny position, able to snipe down Crazy Guy.
How do you defend the spike though, playing up at the dish with 2 of them?
It's all stuck in towards this one final spot. Cushy turns back around on ahead, and he's going to push further
Big
on into the
1v1,
down
my
to the
god.
1v1s. Xfero needs the headshot. He crouches down, tries to offset the crosshair, plays that foot free with the
man.
swing. He
Freak, so good. Dude, what a map this was.
The
Damn, we actually got a sick map here.
13 to 11.
Oh,
the committed peak from freeing.
That one has provided us. It's
That was
special,
nice.
that's for sure, but it's freeing on the Teo that gets
Dude,
the
what a
job
banger
done
map.
in the 1 versus 1 at the end. But I don't think it was an individual game.